Good morning, afternoon or evening, and welcome to another 0AD Alpha 23 replay commentary analysis. Now today we have a match that was sent to me by Ish, so straight at the beginning let's say many thanks to Ish for the heads up on what is a really great game, and we'll be analysing a 3v2 match between 5 of the best players around. So in the first team we have Borg rated at 2232 and Feldfeld rated at 2009. Now they'll be playing as the Gauls and the Ptolemies respectively, and will be in the north with playing as a really solid team. Now team 2 is made up of Valhirant at 1791, Stockfish at 1777 and Boudica at 1796. So you can see we have another great team here, slightly lower level, but also reduced in power by 2 of them playing as the Morians. Now anyway, this is a great example of the kind of team strategies that you see at the highest levels of action, so without further ado, let's have a look. So welcome to the action. Now we'll just quickly go around the players to go and explain who's where. Here in the purple we have Valhirant, he's playing as the Morians. In the yellow, again as the Morians, we have Boudica, and then as the Ptolemies we have Stockfish here in the blue. Now they're kind of a southern team, and the northern team playing as the Gauls. Here we have Borg, and as the Ptolemies we have Feldfeld. So it's 3v2, it's very, very good players, and I think it's just going to be a really interesting game to learn from and see some of the great strategies around how to play really well as a team. And yeah, it's just a fascinating game. So thanks again for Ish for sending that to me. So if we look early on, we can see that Stockfish is basically booming. So the approach that the southern team have got is that Stockfish is going to just get his economy going, and we've got these guys who are both playing as the Morians, so Boudica and Valhirant. And Valhirant's going to pretty much, once he's got himself moving, he's going to start just producing a load of cavalry. You can see he's got his camels here, which gives him a great source of early meat, and what they're going to need to do is really push forward and try and double up on one of the players. So let's wait and see which one that's going to be, although to be honest I already know, but you'll have to wait and find out. And as you can see here we've got Boudica, he's already started producing cavalry as well, so we're going to get lots of raiding cavalry. So how are each of the northern people prepared to deal with this early on? Well, we can see that as the Gauls, he's got a lot of women, but only one cavalryman and not a lot of soldiers for Borg. So Borg could be vulnerable, and if we go over here, the Ptolemies are able to, because of the reduced cost of their the skirmisher, they can basically produce a load of skirmishers right at the start, which is exactly what he's done. So this group of woodcutters, which is outside of the sort of protection of the civic centre, has got a group of soldiers there basically to protect them, and he's just building as many houses as he can. Now interestingly, for the Ptolemies, actually knocking down houses for the majority of civilizations doesn't really achieve much, but for the Ptolemies it can make a huge difference because they take ages to build and they only give you a 5 population bonus. So quite often, if your guys are stopping building houses, it actually bizarrely is really, really debilitating. So let's see how the attacking armies are sort of building up. So Boudica is starting to scout the map. You can see he's got cavalry going here, there and everywhere. He's also done very, very well here. This is an excellent move for anyone who plays as Morians. You basically take your elephant with you to a load of camels or any other kind of excuse me sorry about that, or not necessarily camels, but any type of meat that you need to hunt, and you can just basically make sure that they can hunt that meat and deposit it very, very quickly. It also means that you can attack right on your opponent's doorstep as well, because you can deposit that. So let's say you had a load of Morian archers, you could also take them to the edge of your opponent's base and start maybe collecting this wood, for instance. So they're really helpful in that point, but they are also quite a weak civilization in terms of how strong any of their units are. So you can see that it's a double-edged sword. So in terms of development, Feldfeld is doing superbly. As you would expect, he's got a civilization that does lend itself to fast development, but the Gauls do as well. So that, I think, has been factored into trying to keep the game relatively equal, because 3v2 is obviously very, very difficult. Let's just have a quick look actually and see what the maximum population is. So I've gone for 250, which is a reasonable number. If it was 400 v 600 potential capacity, particularly with the Morians getting a population boost, that would be very, very mean. So keeping it a bit lower just reduces their advantage somewhat. But I mean, this is just excellent play. Like, in terms of, he can basically get as much with these cavalry, gather as much food as possible, which allows him to basically set everyone here. You see, he's got no farms, and he's just putting everyone to gathering wood, which he needs to produce more cavalry. But if we have a look, you can see there's a small group of cavalry here, and there is a group of cavalry here, and these guys look like they're heading up into the north east, and they're going to attack. I've forgotten who this is. Is it Feldfeld? Yeah. So they're attacking Feldfeld. So you can see now, this means that he's going to have to start building his houses a bit. Well, he's had to stop building houses, but it's going to be very, very difficult for Feldfeld to defend this. Much as he's got a decent group, actually the 12 skirmishers there are going to be very, very helpful, but being attacked from two sides, this group should take out this guy relatively quickly, and have done. Everyone's run back into the civic centre, and unfortunately it's the smaller group of horses. If they'd swapped round, I think the yellow group of horses could have taken these guys, but perhaps Valhirant's smaller cavalry is not possible. Now they're being attacked and they're having to run. So you'll notice that while this is going on, this is clearly part of a good strategy, that blue is just going to continue to just boom, and what will be possible then is for him... Oh, there's another group of horses here. This isn't being controlled by, or particularly well, by Valhirant. He's too busy on this group, and that means that these guys are looking to be in danger. It's still 2v1. It's very, very difficult to see how Feldfeld can escape this. He's going to start losing some houses, which can be absolutely critical. He needs, he needs to basically get as many of the horses they can attack. If they were both attacking from both sides, I think this group of sort of 16 people would be killed very, very quickly. If he can start taking out the women as well. And the interesting thing is that Borg isn't sending any help whatsoever. Yeah, sorry for that quick break. I was just having a drink of my coffee. I mean, you can see Feldfeld has done really well to be able to put an army together. He's losing houses though, so if we look from his perspective, where is he here? He's now unable to build any more houses because he's losing so many houses, and if he loses a couple more, it's going to be very, very difficult. But this one is not quite ready to go. Can they take it? They're stopping taking it. He needs Valhirant to really come and help him out, because this one is so close to being gone, and it's not quite. Okay, they're going to take the house, and then that means that he's back to not being able to reinforce once this one's gone. It's really, really... You know, it's incessant attacking, and it's very, very good play. Like, this is just excellent 2-on-1 raiding. But I also have to say that the defending is absolutely superb. Not so much here. This group of women are in massive trouble. They're going to be massacred, and they have been. So the key to this is going to be to what extent Borg can develop very, very quickly without helping Feldfeld at the early stage, to the point that he can get his economy and get some more advanced weapons to try and, well, not just get his economy, but also get more advanced weapons out to start to push back against them. Because the issue that you're going to have with Morians is that once the siege weapons come in, I think, they may only have elephants. If they have anything else, it's siege towers, and I forget whether they do have siege towers or not, but yeah, I don't think they do. So here we are again. You can see them depositing their meat, and Feldfeld, who was like a mile clear in population, is now behind Valhirant, still ahead of Boudica, who's been looking to basically just harass. He's not developed very much at all. If you look at his infrastructure, he's sacrificed that completely. So Valhirant is weirdly sending Stockfish stuff. I would have expected it to be the other way around. So Stockfish is starting to get himself moving. He's got a very good population, but he's not quite keeping up with Borg, who is just doing superbly, but is kind of operating in isolation here. They've got, here Valhirant's trying to harass him, but Borg has got, if you look at this group of soldiers here, there's no way that he's going to get any change from them whatsoever. So they've given up on that, and they've also given up on harassing Feldfeld. I think that would be the most useful thing. So Stockfish is first one to phase 2, so that's good for him. He's going to now be able to give people, he can now build the market, and he can get the line of sight for everyone, which will make him have a critical advantage. His vision will be really, really enhanced, so he'll be able to kind of help guide his teammates potentially as to when attacks are coming and things like that. So Valhirant's starting to develop his economy a bit. I mean, the good thing for them about this map is that, well, the camels were helpful at the start, and there's good groups of trees. You look at that, that's a really good bunch of trees there. There's another one here. There's also another load of camels, so he could be getting food from there. And you see, he's got 6 cavalry that are just healing up inside his civic centre. He's now just popped those guys out, and he's healing up a couple of different cavalries. But, oh no, these are metal. I thought these were, this one actually is. I thought they were Boudica, leaving people in key strategic areas to have some vision of what's going on. What might have been interesting is to see if they've been able to send some people to put watchtowers around the outside of the base, just particularly if he's trying to expand. So maybe somewhere like here, that could have cut off that group of trees, or back here could have cut off this group of trees. Interesting potential. But the one thing I would say about Borg, he doesn't appear to have healed up his cavalry. He's left them all on the cusp of death. I mean, you look at this guy in particular. Where is he? No, not you. You. Where are you gone? Well, that is... Yeah, got ya. He's got health of 3. That is sending him in towards Borg now is just basically asking for him to die, whereas he could be healed up and be useful. Borg's got these defensive towers. He just, this is impenetrable. This is not an attack that can work, and I think they're going to realise that very quickly. So they managed to kill, I think, 1 woman and a cavalryman. And a couple more. It wasn't awful, but hasn't really achieved a lot. Borg's also reached phase 2, and in terms of resources, if we just have a look at this, because Stockfish as well is going to have to be the producer of all the all the siege weapons. So it's going to be his catapults and bolt shooters that are going to be absolutely critical if the southern team is going to win this. He's not explored anything. It's weird that he hasn't... Oh no, he's got the market thing. The reason he's not explored is because he doesn't need to. He's got cartography coming, and we'll notice in a few seconds he'll suddenly see a mass of the map. So there you go, that's how much he can now see by virtue of that that bonus. And there's these cavalry just running around, not really achieving very much. So Valhirant's now gone to town phase, so only Boudica is left, and he's quite a long way behind in development. If we look at his army, I just want to get a kind of an idea of its composition. 74 women is not an army. So I thought that the idea at the start was that we would have your sort of economic powerhouse would be down here, and the others would create soldiers. Boudica seems to have deviated slightly from that, and that could prove costly later on, because he's not going to be able to defend. And you'll notice from just the positions on the map that once Feldfeld starts to attack, his nearest enemy is going to be Valhirant, and they are on similar populations, but once catapults and stuff are involved, and it looks like they've stopped harassing here, I can see, let's have a look at from Feldfeld's perspective, what's his thing. Okay, he's done a really, really good. You notice actually that all of his, if you look up here, all of his resources are right down at like very, very low. And while it may seem counterintuitive, that's actually a sign of a really, really good play, because that means he's using all of his resources. He's not generating resources he doesn't need at any particular point. So he hasn't got far too much stone, for instance. He's got just the right amount of everything. This is really, really excellent resource management and economy development from him. So very, very good play from Feldfeld. And the fact that Borg has been basically able to get, here we are, he's how far? He's 17 seconds, so within 13.5 minutes he's going to be in a city phase. He's got 5 of these, what they call barracks, 5 barracks. He's got his market. He has a rotary mill, which is going to mean that he produces ever more food, to the point that he's now able to send food off to Feldfeld, as we can see there, and he'll be producing rams here. Well, first of all, he's actually getting his hero, but then he's going to start producing rams, and once those rams start coming, we're going to need to see a lot of swordsmen. And I don't know, in terms of these guys, they do have plenty of swordsmen. They have access to cavalry swordsmen as well, I believe. Are you a cavalry swordsman? You are. So he's going to need to start producing those, because they're going to have to try and take out these rams, and I don't know how easy that's going to be. Okay, so Feldfeld, Stockfish has hit phase 3, so where is his fortress and where are his catapults? There is no fortress, there are no catapults at this stage. What's the reason for that? Okay, he's done well in terms of population, but he needs to... What price can he get? He can still get a good price for stone. He should be buying some stone at this point for some of this wood. He's got far, far too much wood unnecessarily. And he's, not using it. It's very, very important that he gets those catapults coming soon, because I think we're going to see, ram number 1 is coming up, and he's producing slingers in batches of 2. This is a pretty almighty army that's coming forward now. This is going to be very, very difficult for them to stop. Okay, he does have some sword cavalry, so that's good. Are the raiding cavalry ones with the swords? Yes, they are. They're going to be essential to stop the rams. So you could do... I mean, I think... Are they... I can't actually work out if they're trying to push on to actually attack, because that looks like suicide. Surely, if we look from Valhirant's perspective, surely he's just going to turn around any second. He's going to see the fact that there are... Well, he's got a hero, he's got thousands that... Yeah, he just needs to get rid of those. Get them out there as quickly as possible, because there are a phenomenal number of Borg troops pushing out. And how close is he now to getting... Feldfeld is still behind, but it's not that far behind. He's similar to Boudica and to Valhirant, so it's not like a massive enhancement. Okay, that's interesting that he's making these pikemen. I would have preferred to see him making the Gallic mercenary swordsmen. Those swordsmen are really, really are going to be very useful, because he knows that he's playing against the Britons up here. Sorry, not the Britons, the Gauls. And so he's going to get rams, and unless he's going to be able to produce some elephants, like has he got... He doesn't have the elephant hero, but he would be someone that I would absolutely recommend getting. Okay, we've got 4 bolt shooters and then 4 catapults. That is good play, but is it going to be too late? Look at this. For an army coming forward, is he actually at capacity, Borg? Borg is virtually at capacity, and he's sending his army on a rampage into Stockfish. Stockfish's territory. This looks bad. This looks really, really bad. But at the same time, we've got an excellent counter-attack going on here. So if these guys can start to hit his economy, perhaps they can take over some barracks, potentially destroy those barracks, or even better, be able to produce troops inside of his territory. That would be really helpful. But this is going to be interesting. What on earth is going to happen here? Okay, he's trying to build a second fortress. He really needs to get some troops inside this fortress, and he has to hope that he hasn't produced any swordsmen, I don't think. No, he hasn't. So he's got no one that can take out the rams at this stage. He's trying to build a second fortress here. It's possibly not, if he's not careful, it's not going to be able to do it. He needs these bolt shooters. Actually, he just probably needs to put them back inside the CC, because I don't think he can defend them from, not CC in the fortress. I don't think they can be defended from the rams at this stage. I don't think he's got any troops that could defend them from the rams. This is not, and you can see they're just being destroyed. That one, so he's lost 2 of them straight away. He needs to get them back inside if he can. But let's have a look quickly at what's going on here. This is a pretty robust attack from Valhirant. It's very, very smartly done. So Valhirant has really hit the economy of Borg very hard, and now we've finally got some elephants coming. Okay, if he can get these things, the key, I think, really to defending this is if he needs to get those catapults. Where are they? I thought he produced a load of catapults. Did they all get killed? So the combination of the bolts and these archers has managed to protect them against the attack. But what I'd really like to see is not bolt shooters, actually catapults, because catapults are an absolutely excellent defense against slingers. Okay, so up here, just have a quick look as well. We've got a few people on the march here, some elephants, and they're going to attack Valhirant. So while Valhirant was off, well, is off, trying to cause mayhem here, we've got another counter-attack. I mean, this is a battle that is all over the place, but it's absolutely excellent play. Borg's retreating. He's realised it's gone. Valhirant is basically leaving these guys to die. I mean, one of the things that he needs to do, if he can, is, against the Ptolemies here, is try and stop their flow of metal. And I don't know where they're getting metal from. Is this metal? No, I don't know where they're getting metal from, but it's because of the number of mercenaries they need, it's pretty essential. However, what they do also have is catapults, and this is what I would have liked to have seen from I've forgotten what the blue player's called. Mr. Blue. Who are you? Stockfish. Yeah. If he'd managed to produce catapults, they would have seen off those slingers very, very easily, and they basically, you can just leave the catapult with some swordsmen protecting them, and the only thing that will be able to stop the catapults is the rams, and hopefully the swordsmen would destroy the rams alongside the catapults prior to prior to them actually getting there. So they should be pretty safe. So what do we have here? We've got yellow. Okay, Valhirant's lost his CC, so that is definitely not good, and he's losing control of things very quickly. He's going to need to, if he can, fortify. He needs to get people inside some of these buildings, because he's going to lose control of them, and if he loses control of them, that is very, very, very bad news for him. We also have in the centre another counter-attack. I mean, this game is absolutely chaotic. It's fantastic to watch, and it's really, really good play. But this little group actually is quite smart. They seem to have drawn the army, while at the same time we're going to have a load of archers alongside this quite hefty army, including Cleopatra, is going to give everyone a boost to how quickly they can fire. So range units will be able to fire more quickly. Okay, he's going to lose this farmstead. That is of zero interest to anyone, really. But Valhirant, you can see, is just a complete. He's lost everything there, and Blue is keeping things under control. Has he got some catapults finally? What he needs is for these catapults to be facing in this direction and start attacking those things. Okay, this, you see, I mean, I appreciate that it's starting to lag a bit, but the combination of these guys coming from behind and, that catapult's gone. I don't know if it was just destroyed. I think it was just destroyed, yeah, it was. So there were so many slingers, they actually managed to destroy the catapult, which is, unexpected. So it's pretty brutal. Borg is now able to get them from both sides. These guys, he's got more catapult. That's frustrating when the catapults spawn on the wrong side, and all that's going to happen now is this ram. Why has he not got any swordsmen? he hasn't produced
Yeah, see?
any sort of, like, if it just produced literally 5 swordsmen, 10 swordsmen maybe, that would be the end of this ram, and this wouldn't be such an issue. I mean, the women are actually the ones taking it down, but by the time they've taken that, another one is on its way. But these, yeah, they need. This should be able to be protected. These catapults go a little bit further north. The catapults are being taken down very, very well by the hero and the ram. This is very, very, very good play from Borg. Like, really, really good. Okay, let's just quickly have a look, because Borg is chasing out the archers that were trying to cause a load of issues over here. And we've also got Feldfeld on the march now. Again, got a large group of swordsmen. If only I had some swordsmen back in the other place to defend against the rams. The swordsmen seem to be in the wrong place. Swordsmen are not useful against catapults or against these skirmishers. They're going to just get obliterated. Hopefully the archers, from their perspective, will be able to help them to defend. As Valhirant managed to build up his economy, so he's got a new civic centre all the way back here. He's got a fortress, but I think he's short of resources, to be honest. Let's have a look from Valhirant's perspective. He's got plenty of stone, but that's of limited use. Is he trying to build another fortress here? He is. Okay, so he's trying to fortify his position, but the reality of the situation is that this is not a sustainable proposition. If you can just get them caught between these two groups of archers, then suddenly we might see something. So if they could get, say, 100 archers on each side, then they could cause issues for these guys. But it's very good play from Feldfeld. He's sending in his skirmishers and pikemen first, and the elephants are coming in afterwards. So the elephants will continue to cause issues once the skirmishers have kind of picked off the majority of the archers, because otherwise the elephants will just be gone in no time. And if he can get these catapults set up, and then this group of archers is gone in no time. We can also see that they're starting to double up. Borg has kind of lost interest in taking out stockfish. He's got a couple of bolt shooters, and okay, I think they've realised that they've got the chance to finish off Valhirant here, and if they do, then yeah, that would be the end of the game, because Boudica is, although he's got very good population, I mean, he's actually the highest. I don't think he's got the sufficient. None of them really do. With the Morians, none of them have managed to build like huge groups of champions, and you really need those later on. So all they've got is a phenomenal number of archers. So as soon as anyone, here we go, are these champions? Or are they just regular swordsmen? No, just regular swordsmen. But at least they can go right. So you can see here the swordsman against the catapult, exactly the same as they would be against the ram. They could just take it out in very, very limited amount of time. That's exactly what they're looking to do. And the archers here need to take this elephant. So these archers, and this elephant should be gone before the civic centre goes. Yeah, long since. But the problem is that there are just more and more siege units coming in. So if we come down, they've got rams coming in now, and the combination of rams and catapults. I mean, I have to say that if you are playing as a team game and you want two civilizations that work really well together, then Ptolemies and Gauls, yeah, that's your dream team, really. They work absolutely superbly. The fact that you've got rams, catapults, bolt shooters, and siege towers, and elephants, and the other thing is that if you are playing with Ptolemies as your teammates, you just get this slow trickle of food. I think about 1 food or maybe 2 food every second, which just like given constantly. So right at the beginning of the game, you've already got Gauls, which develop very quickly. But on top of that, they're gaining, every time they're doing stuff, they're just gaining food for like basically doing nothing. Which means that they're almost inevitably, you're going to find that they can develop even more quickly. And the Ptolemies have got a good range of troops. If the Gauls can get you a decent supply of metal and start sending that to you, then you can develop your Ptolemaic army pretty quickly as well. So Valhirant loses another civic centre, but he should be able to hold, due to this fortress, he can hold that a little bit better. Boudica is trying to fight off another Borg attack, and Stockfish is now trying to launch a counter-attack. But this is the problem that he's got. He's not built any swordsman. It's frustrating to watch. I really would think he would be in a better position if he had some swordsmen to be able to take out the rams. You can see he's very good, just producing one ram at a time. He needs another. If he had 2 or 3 catapults here, they would take out this fortress in no time, and that would be a massive bonus. But Valhirant is being, systematically attacked. It's very, very, very good play against Valhirant. They're ensuring that Valhirant ceases to be part of the southern team, and in doing so, it doesn't really matter. As soon as it becomes 2v2, then the combination of just siege weapons that are available to the northern team will just destroy the southern team. You can see here they've got these archers. It's one of the issues. They're kind of they can be a false friend. I don't know how best to describe it. What's that expression? They can make you feel overly comfortable, archers, because to a point, once you've got people at a distance, if you have a large mass of them, that's it. Then no one can get close to you. But as soon as it can put you into a false sense of security, that's what I was trying to say. So you can see the archers here, as the people are not right next to the archers and not able to engage them, they can take a lot of people out. But as soon as people do actually get next to the archers and start engaging them in hand-to-hand combat, that's it. They just disappear in no time. He still hasn't. Yeah, they've lost another catapult. He's got a bolt shooter here. Was that a catapult actually? No, it's a catapult. I don't really understand what's going on there. I don't know if Valhirant has resigned. He's given up on the game, so it's going to be very, very difficult now. And I think, although Borg has a lot of troops, but they are all on the cusp of death. Stockfishers okay. Well, that's the end of that. The southern team has given up. So it was really, really. You can learn so much from that game about team play and everything. It was an excellent performance. I think the strategy that the southern team had at the start was actually the correct one, but unfortunately for them, Feldfeld defended really well, and just by chance, the side that Yellow was attacking, is that Boudica and Valhirant, if they had been switched round so that the larger group of troops was attacking the group of woodcutters that had the soldiers in earlier, it may well have been overwhelming. But as it was, Borg was able to advance and just did a brilliant job. Anyway, it's another very, very interesting game. Hope you enjoyed it, and other than that, have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will catch you all soon.